Greetings and salutations. What is going on, good people? We were back for another episode of the blerddadpodcast. Hello and welcome. This is a space where we have unfiltered conversations and nerd out about fatherhood and parenthood in general. I am your host, Glennlawrence. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing out there? So good to see you back here. It's been an amazing week for me. Continue to grow as a parent, just doing cool things, starting to get into routine, started to read to the little one. That's been really, really fun. And yeah, just seeing them grow. It's so amazing seeing them do different little things for the first time. Like now, this is something little, but a parent understands what I'm saying. Now he can see me from like across the room. So if I walk out the room, like before he would just be kind of like looking up like Stevie Wonder or like Ray Charles or something, because they can't see that far. And now he could like track me across the room. So I'm like, oh damn, I can't sneak out anymore and pretend like I'm there just by my voice. He's like, no, I see you leaving, bro. Where you going? You better come back while you hear me crying. All right. Before we get started, just a quick shout out to our sponsors, as always, because they're so kind to us all the time. The sponsor again is theymademewearit.com. As always, they are dog stylists for the everyday parent. It's a husband and a wife team, and they're on a mission. They will not stop until your dog discovers their fashionable side. Whether it's a Halloween costume, adorable dress, comfy jammies, or a custom designer gown. Yes, they do that too. Your fur baby will love wearing the latest fashions. I'm telling you, they'll be strutting. Have you ever seen a dog strut? It's amazing when they strut. Also, when you're shopping in their store, you should know this. You're contributing to Hope for Paws, which is an animal rescue organization that works tirelessly. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's on a mission. They won't stop these missions. They're working tirelessly to rescue and save the lives of abandoned animals. What a altruistic cause. So what are you waiting for? Get involved. Help them out. Go visit theymademewearit.com. Use code word BLERD. That's BLERD at checkout for 15% off their entire store and get your animal laced up in the latest fashions. That's theymademewearit.com. Use code word BLERD for 15% off the entire store. Now, some amazing things are happening this week. The Olympics. I don't know if anybody saw that. The Olympics were happening. I'm happy to see the Olympics every 4 years. It's amazing. I love it. It was great to see the athletes. They were coming together, even if the Olympic Commission didn't allow them to come together. That's a joke because they weren't allowed to. Okay, if you have to explain the joke, it's probably not funny. But the camaraderie was amazing, right? They were sharing medals. No booty. They weren't sharing any booty, but they were sharing medals. That was great. I saw a karate guy. He got kicked so hard that he won. He won by losing, which was a victory for bullies around the world. People who get bullied around the world. So that was great to see. The Americans, I think we got gold in like basketball, 4x4, and the high run. Shout out Sha'Carri Richardson, who was there in spirit. Simone Biles was killing it again. She was in, then she was out. She was in, she was out. She had everybody up in an uproar. It was great. It was amazing. I was talking with a friend of mine, and we thought that a great idea next year or the next 4 years, what they need to do is they have people in the Olympics. So you got a guy from Jamaica, you got a guy from Kenya, and then we want you to get a guy from section 18, row 7, seat A. Just get a regular dude out there to see how they compete. So you see how they stack up. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't understand how fast and how amazing these athletes are. So if you get just a normal dude from the stands, I think that will hold it down. You know what I mean? That'll make it really, really fun. Yeah. So the Olympics were amazing. Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg, they were awesome and inappropriate. I need to have them on the main channel before they should replace a lot of the regular announcers. That was my take on the Olympics. I had a great time watching them. It's really inspiring to see them go for the gold. Yeah. So that's what's going on this week. I'm super excited for our guest this week, who is Liz Barlow. She's a writer, comic from Virginia Beach. if she isn't mothering or telling jokes, she's usually giving out vaccines in the trap house. With a bio like that, you know you want to talk to her. She's amazing. And we're going to talk some cool stuff. So probably some pregnancy, probably some hip hop. I know we'll probably get into that a little bit. We'll talk about these little babies that we birthed together. I keep saying birth together. I didn't really birth my baby, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Stephanie helped birth the baby. Anyways, let's get Liz in here so we can have a great discussion. Liz, what's going on?
Hi.
Hey, oh, look, you got a little Groot right there. Oh.
I do. Who just threw up all over me.
Oh, really? Like at this moment?
At this very moment.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
That is not beautiful. What?
It is. I think it's cute.
Do you get thrown up on?
A lot. Oftentimes. Little Morgan throws up on me a lot. As a matter of fact, whenever I'm burping him, he like starts angling his head so he could get it on my beard. like I'll put his head so that it's away from me, and then he'll just be like, no, and he'll like wiggle so that he could projectile back onto me. It's like he's target. It's target practice, really.
Oh my God.
How you doing? You look beautiful. You're glowing. You got that mommy glow. What's going on?
Thank you. Nothing much, man. We're just trying to figure it out in here.
Okay.
That's all.
That's kind of where we are too. Now, the reason why I am super excited to talk to you is because we kind of went through this together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You and Stephanie went through it together. I was on the periphery.
You keep trying to add yourself in.
No, but listen, I was there. I was in the room. I caught the baby's head. You know what I'm saying? Like I was part of this. I was involved, maybe even too much. I know it was too much because Stephanie at one point was like, stop. So, yeah. But I was a very involved, person in the thing. But you were also involved, Stephanie. I know y'all were going back and forth, sharing notes, being like, "Girl, is this what's really going on?" And I feel like maybe y'all had like solace in the fact that we're kind of suffering together. It's not. Maybe it's fine. We're both going through the same shit.
Yes.
So how are things? What's going on with little Groot there? Sleeping?
Groot is good. Groot is long. If people don't know out there, the reason I nicknamed my child Groot is because, well, one, when I saw her on the sonogram, I was like, is that Thanos? I feel like that person is coming to destroy the galaxy. So let's change the narrative here and saying they're here to guard it. Okay. Right. Also, my baby's very long. She was born at 19.5 inches. And now I have no idea how long she is, but I know she's almost not fitting in her bassinet. So
wow, that's very long.
Yes. And she is only 1 month. She won't be 2 months for another 2 weeks. So she's a long baby and she grows like a stick. So instead of growing out where other babies, like maybe they have the big belly or, she's getting chubbier in her face. But she grows like a weed. She grows like a stick. So that's why I call her Groot. And it's really just a lot of feeding. She wants a lot more food. Tugging at my shirt, like, hey, where the titties at? It's just a lot. Okay. Yes. So we're trying to figure it out. And we're working every day. We do circle time. So we're trying to learn our letters.
What's that? What's circle time?
So circle time on YouTube, I actually will send it to you and Stephanie, is with Miss Monica. She is a Black preschool teacher, and every day she does typically a 17, 20 minute, sometimes 30, 45-minute video where they learn colors, letters, numbers, and like the weather outside and, what would be appropriate for the weather. If it's raining, we're going to put rain boots on Mr. Koala. And yes, I love it. And it keeps her very engaged.
Does it really?
Yeah. If circle time is on, she's going to be quiet for at least 10 to 5 of those 17 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Shoot, so so we do circle time every day. I've succumbed to the demon that is Coco Melon.
Why? Why would you do that?
Listen, I'm a solo mom. So it's just me in here. My mom does live down the street, so she comes over. I have to help here and there, but it's just me. And I have a hood rat dog named Peanut. So in the event that I have to take care of the hood rat, something has to be done.
That's
Okay.
funny. I'm pretty sure Sadie might know Peanut, because Sadie be thugging. I don't know if you remember, I had my joke about how Sadie be thugging. Like she's on the block, and every day she wants to let me know she ain't no punk. Like today she just ate my Chick-fil-A and then stared at me like, what you left it out, what you want to do? And I'm just like, come on. But that is all of that is hilarious. Now I know that you're bothered by like the crying, but I have Apple AirPods, I have Bose noise canceling headphones. I will wear both of them.
The baby cry?
Listen, you can't cry longer than the battery lasts, so go ahead and have at it. But the difference is I'm a dad, so I don't have that intrinsic like need to fix it. I'm just like, all right, well, you're changed, you're fed, you're good. But Stephanie, she like goes into panic mode, like, what do I do? And I'm like, yes. What you do? Put some headphones on, you good.
You can't just ignore the baby, okay?
I wasn't ignoring it. I'm just saying I'm gonna wait till you want to be logical about the situation and quiet your butt down. There's
no logic. No, these are terrorists. Like, you can't negotiate.
Ask Stephanie. I talked to him because this is my advice from my dad. I talked to him like he's a real person. I'm like, look, cut it out. And he'll stop like, what? Like, I can't just keep. He'll like look at me like, oh. And then he'll stop crying. And I'll be like, you're going to get your food. Just stop crying. And I'm gonna bring it right to you. And then he'll stop for a minute. If I dilly dally too long, like if I take any type of detour to like get something else, he'll be like, that ain't the way to the bottle, But I talked to him for real. I am not falling victim to Coco Melon.
It's gonna happen. It doesn't.
I guarantee it won't. I guarantee it won't. You know what's funny though? We did figure out his favorite song is Strawberry Letter 23. We put that joint on. He is out by the end of the song. He loves it. Like he'll stop whatever he's doing. He'll be like, oh, this is my jam. And he'll start nodding, and then he's like, and then he's out by the end of the song.
I'm trying to get Groot to listen to more Big Crit. She doesn't seem to have attached to Crit.
You know what you got to do? You got to listen to whatever Big Crit sampled and use those samples first.
Probably so.
And then
ingratiate into the.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing. I was getting all the old school joints, and then I was like, and building it up, and then it's like, okay, and then they can appreciate the fun. See, I got tips out here. I may have not known coming into it, but I'm learning very quickly.
Yeah, you also are. I just can't listen. You're a part of that old school thought. Just let them cry it out. I have headphones. Mm-hmm. I can't do it. Yeah, like, because what happens is it starts off like a little then it's like, I don't know if you heard me, I'm crying. And then it's a level of I'm going to die and it's your fault. And it's like, okay, just come on, I'll pick you up.
You know what? Whenever he gets like shaking and red, then I'm like, okay, now it's serious. When it's like, because there's levels. There's the first like, which is like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. And then there's the next level, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you see me here struggling. What you want to do? And then the next level is like, it's like, that's, but then it's like the rage, like, I am going to grow up to kill people. If you don't
exactly. Exactly. I don't want to raise a Menendez boy. So I pick her up. Okay. And I will deal with the consequences.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't let him cry like a lot, but I do let him cry a little bit longer than Stephanie does. Like I allow him to have a couple more seconds, but it's interesting because I really can see like that motherly, like, I can't stand the discomfort of my baby. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but I'm like around him, you know what I mean? So he doesn't feel alone. Right, but he doesn't always feel like, oh, I'm gonna get picked up as soon as he grabs me. That's my thought on it. I'm like, because I'll like hold his belly or something, or hold his shoulder, or like touch him, so he's like, no, somebody's here, so you're not like alone. And I feel like that helps with the words. You know what I mean? Like when I'm saying like, hey, listen, like chill out, you're gonna get your food, calm down. And then ask Stephanie, he'll stop. She's like, why does he never cry around you and he always cries with me? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, what you want me to do? That's dad. You don't cry around dad.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was really great having, you know, this time like being pregnant together, you and Stephanie.
Yeah.
But I really felt like I had two babies coming because I was always like checking it, like, yo, you still good? What's going on? How's it? Da, 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 da. But you know, because y'all were going through it together, I was like, oh, okay, I feel, you know, I feel like
and
I'm
I
helping.
do. And it is nice, like to have a whole comedy is a whole community, right? So to have both of us have babies, and we're from similar communities. I would say I'm from the 757 comedy community, but I'm pretty sure DC, Maryland has adopted me. So to
We
have
love you up
everybody
here.
check in, yeah, but to have not only Stephanie, like to have that camaraderie, be like, girl, I can't sleep. I can't lay on my back. I'm hungry. I have acid reflux. But also for you to be like, hey, how are you? Or do you need anything? Or this is what we're trying. It really was a nice experience. So that's why, like, I tell my mom all the time, when Stephanie was still pregnant in like 41 weeks and we're like on baby watch.
Right.
I was like, Mom, she still hasn't had the baby. She hasn't had the baby. Okay, well, tell her to try.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice to be like, okay, this is definitely a family at this point. You know, we came to each other's virtual baby showers and everything else.
I felt like I was doing too much because at certain times, that's why I wouldn't text too much, because I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm doing way too much. Like I'm constantly in the DMs like, yo, how about this week? We all right? Isn't it? It's like, all right, just slow up.
It's okay. I appreciated it.
But yeah, so yeah, Stephanie, she went to like almost 42 weeks.
Yeah.
And I commend her because it was a lot. She really wanted to get the baby out. But it's funny because the baby's just like dad. He took his time. He just took his time. And then when it was ready to go, he was like, all right, I'm out. Yeah, 42 and a half weeks. She's like,
exactly.
Get it right. Don't get it twisted. 42, that's a long time to hold a baby.
That's a long time.
That's almost a year. That's 10 weeks shy of a year. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so I commend her on that. But like I said, yeah, the baby, which by the way, our baby's name is Morgan. So we got like a little Marvel Cinematic Universe because you know Iron Man's kid was named Morgan. So I'm like, I like that. Yeah. I like that.
And so we got like
we have little Ironheart, or I'm sorry, not Ironheart. We have little Morgan Stark, and then we have Groot in the MCU. We're building.
Yeah. We need we need another Avenger. I don't want anybody to name their child Star-Lord because he's awful.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, I have such a deep hate for Chris Pratt.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, first of all, he's the reason that we even had to have Endgame. Like all of these, like anything you can think of, any situation you could think of, he's wrong. In real life, he's a low-key Trumper. Like his brother is a Trumper and anti-masker and all this stuff. But even in the movies, it's like, you're just awful. And I'm sorry your mama died, but like, okay, you could have had a whole planet to yourself. So really, I don't have no sympathy for you.
But you know what? Doctor Strange said there was only one way for it to work out, and that was it. So, I mean, you know, I can't if there was only one way, he was going to do that dumb shit no matter what.
So, yeah, pretty much.
So he's like, any way you see it, he's going to do this dumb shit, because otherwise he would have been like, yo, Star-Lord, chill. And it was just so, I don't know, it was so selfish the way that he did it, which listen, you're super heavy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as am I. What did you think of Loki?
So interestingly enough, I was like, oh, okay, Loki comes out when I'm on maternity leave. Like, okay, I'll binge it. And me and my mom she's my Marvel partner. Like we've seen every, movie together. She loves the nickname Groot. Like me and my mom have been watching X-Men 1994 cartoons when I was a kid. Like that's my mom. Right. So we started to watch it and I was like, wow, it was a little dry. The first episode, I went to sleep. She went to sleep. Then a couple weeks later, I was like, okay, well, it's over now. Let me binge it. Oh my God. So good. Right? So good. the best part that I keep going back to watch, because I'm an actor by trade, you know, I do stand up, but acting is what I love. Well, I guess he's not Kang the Conqueror quite yet, but right. Jonathan Majors.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Oh my God. I was like, this is acting. This is what we be talking about when we talk about acting. Like, that's it.
I loved
so good. Like, I went to go read articles. They were like, they just let him go. Like, a lot of that is not in the script. They just let him have it. So good. I can't wait to see him in Quantumania.
The other thing that was awesome about that was he was saying how he wanted to do like a broad take on Kang, or the, you know, He Who Remains, and so that when he does Kang, he has like a lot to play from. And I feel like you can see that, you know what I mean? Like someone who's like at the end of time, kind of going a little bit crazy, still has remembrance of like all that he's come through to this point. But I just love the part where it was like, where she stabbed it and he was like, see you soon.
See you soon.
I was like,
oh my God.
Here's the thing. In my mind, right? Endgame, like, I feel like, I know people will hate this. I feel like it was a perfect story arc of like where it came to, how it ended with Thanos and everything. And I loved it. And I'm like, how do you one up that with a character that is bigger than that? You know what I mean? Like, or a villain who's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Marvel's had an issue with their villains. And so seeing him in that role, I'm like, ooh, that's tasty. I could eat some of that up, you know, and it just opens up the world.
Yeah. And like I think for me, it's like a lot of Marvel villains. I could see what you're saying about their villains. I think that Loki, he's a lovable villain, and that we all love to either hate Loki or love that he's troubled. I think that, we know we're supposed to hate Kang, but we're not. Like, he's an awful person, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing really redeemable about him, and it's a little quirky. It's very funny, but I can't wait.
Yeah, but it's like ends justify the means. That's what I always love to see. And you know, the funny thing, living in this world now with all the, you know, the anti-mask and anti-vax and pro-vax, and definitely have to like just all of it, all the noise or whatever. I'm like, I feel like Thanos might have been right. Like, if we could just get rid of half of all of these, I think we might have been all right. So part of me is just like, maybe we should let Thanos just snap, because then half of all this would be gone.
It's so insane. Like, I went to go get my second shot. So I am, you know, I have both shots, right? And I was in the Rite Aid getting my vaccine, and the people in front of me are not vaccinated. No mask in sight. I'm like, what do you think is really happening? Right? Yeah. Like, people that are like, no, I don't want a vaccine. So what do you just plan to die? Is that it?
Like,
what is your plan? I really want to like know what the game plan is.
I mean, if they're cool with dying, I mean, it's like, listen, if that's your thing, like, cool, then just like, you know, like, do it. But I don't know why you got to be in everybody's face like, you're stupid and it's a trap. Right. It's like, what? Here's the thing. All right, if there's a mad scientist out there who has figured out how to like microchip us through injecting something in our blood so that they can then decipher all that data and then use it to control us, you've already lost, bro, because I can't do shit without Wi-Fi. Like, correct. So I've already lost. I'm not winning that battle, number one.
And number it's two, always people that can't change a Word document into a PDF. Like, you can't do any of that. Like, you're barely struggling to like set up your printer, and the fact that you still have a printer, like, why do you think that you're more advanced than the government who is trying to First of all,
well, don't say the government. I would definitely. The government is not. They are struggling. Let's just.
You know what I mean? That's another thing. It's like the government's trying to kill you. No, baby, they would rather you work for like $13 an hour. Okay.
Yeah,
They would
yeah,
rather tell you to fight for 15 when $15 an hour still isn't a livable wage.
yeah,
They don't care about you dying. In fact, they don't want it. They want
yeah.
more slave labor out of you. So
But
I
that's
don't
the
know
other
why
thing.
you think it's that.
Yeah, and it's like you know, the like if the plan also is to like kill off people, like why would they want to kill off all the people who listen to them? Like that doesn't make sense. Like why would they want to kill the people who don't listen? Anyway, we're
Yeah.
getting into a whole other thing. I'm probably gonna have tons of people being like, how dare you talk
Sure.
about
Okay.
vaccines and da-da, you're
Gotcha.
spreading misinformation. And
Sure.
I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm spreading joy and laughter because I'm telling jokes. But now I don't even know where to go because that it gets me riled up. Oh, I know where to go. I know where to go. I know where to go.
Okay.
I've been binge watching on Netflix different shows. I started watching this UFO documentary. Do you think aliens are coming? Do you think they're real? Do you think they're
I don't think aliens want to come to this little white refrigerator ass planet. What for?
because it's dope. The planet is dope. If you look at other planets in the galaxy, we got a lot. We got oceans. You know what I'm saying? We got coral. We got all kind of coral reefs, colorful plants and flowers. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got bomb weed too. That they probably are just like, oh shit, y'all got some dank.
But if I'm an alien, like I don't need y'all for that. Like if aliens are real, and I'm sure they are, sure, whatever. I never really care to bother with those discussions. But if they are, you don't think there's other galaxies that are less ghetto than this one? Like there's places they can go. I'm sure they ride past our little planet and be like, wow, well,
You know what?
Section 8, and keep moving.
You know what? Our planet probably is like the hood of space. It's just like you
Yeah.
could go there. They got some good chicken and shit, but you
But
don't
I
want to
wouldn't
stick
stay.
around. You don't stay.
When the lights go out, when the street lights come on, that's when you need to leave Earth.
Yeah,
You
that's
ever
why they.
wonder why
Yeah,
UFOs are only seen in the dark? That's because the street lights are on the planet, and they're like,
yeah.
we got to get out of here.
Yeah, you know, look, that's what they probably tell all their kids. Is like, see, that's what happened to KB 1570. He got jacked in Roswell. They took his chain and his spaceship. You better you turn around when
You better get your behind on that ship by the time the lights go out in America. Okay. You know what it is? It's not so we make jokes about Earth being ghetto. It's not really Earth. It's just our country.
You think so?
Yeah, okay. I don't think Canada is terrible. I have no idea. I've never been.
I mean, I haven't been to Canada either, but I imagine it has some ridiculousness.
Well, Drake is from the 6, so I mean, the way he describes it, sure. Okay. And there are other places that are beautiful, of
Are
course.
all the gangsters like Drake is in Canada, you think?
I don't think any gangster is like Drake because Drake isn't gangster.
I mean, but he in his songs he portrays, you know, he's like I did it.
When you actually listen to Drake, he's telling you, hey, my friends have guns.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're right.
My friends have weapons. They'll shoot them. All of my friends have guns.
All my friends, and I will write a love song at your eulogy.
And you better, and I'll sleep with your girlfriend.
Right. And I'll make your mama cry.
Very nicely.
And treat her very kindly.
Very kindly. Okay. So don't you forget it, pal. It's oh, these are threats. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm just going to make your girlfriend think differently about you.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Who do you want to see Drake in a versus battle with?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a huge Drake fan, but he does have a lot of songs.
He got a lot of hits.
A lot of songs. He has a lot of hits. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what rapper, because, I don't think we could put him against another genre. Like, this is what he does. He's a rapper. Mm-hmm. He does hip hop music. I don't know. I like maybe French Montana, but that's still cutting it that's short.
I don't think French.
I only say French Montana because
French has hits. I think it would be lopsided though. I think Drake has way more
hits, and maybe Lil Wayne.
I think Wayne, that would be a good battle. That would be a great battle.
It'd be a great battle. They would never do it, obviously, because of, label mates and he's signed to him and that's his friend. But or Nikki, honestly, I love female rap.
Right.
I do, but she really doesn't have as many hits as
Drake.
No, certainly not as many as Drake. I think if you're looking at Nicki Minaj, then sure, she probably has more hits than the average female rapper. Nobody has more hits than Missy Elliott, right? And that's on Virginia. That's on the area code. Okay. Mm-hmm. But after Pink Print, whatever album Anaconda is on, like that's it.
Yeah. We were talking about Busta Rhymes doing one of the verses, and it would be very hard to match up against Busta. And we were like, and I put it out there. I was like, I think the only person who would be great matching up against Busta would be Missy, because she's the only one who would have like the same energy level that can bring it and can match like hit for hit. You know what I'm saying? If not, I mean, I think she might actually win that battle. But Busta, I mean, quiet as kept, Busta he's an OG. He's got bangers, and he definitely gets you out of your seat. You know what I mean?
He does. People keep saying that battle. I find it oddly matched because we're not talking about videos, right? We're not talking about energy. We're talking about the music. So what's the most recent one? Oh my gosh. Dipset versus versus themselves. Okay.
Yes.
It was really Dipset versus themselves, because the Lock showed up and won. They didn't really verse anybody. It was Dipset versus internal drama.
I think if Dipset would have been prepared, they still would have lost, and it would have still been really lopsided. But I just laughed because I went back and watched it. I was like, half of the battle, Dipset's just saying Dipset.
Yes.
Half the battle.
Yes. I knew it was going to go downhill when after Jadakiss and the Lox did their first song. Okay, great. I mean, it was the most aggressive thing since, I don't know, Thanksgiving for me. My entire family's from New York. My whole family is from New York. I'm from North Carolina. Most of my cousins were born in North Carolina, but the aunts and uncles, I have 8 aunts and uncles, all grew up parochial school, New York. Wow. So it was like, oh, this is home. Oh, my grandma's on stage. Like, this is very normal. I knew it was going to go downhill when the first song all Dip said was, "We ready. We ready." I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. Okay. Are y'all doing the step? Are y'all about to do the step team step?
I mean, because Lox came out with "Fuck You" first, like that, and I was like, oh, so it's on. But I knew it was over when they were all on stage trying to figure out who was going to go first, and Jada was like, "I ain't letting a nigga in leather pants beat me." I was like,
"Leather pants beat me." Okay,
I was like, oh, they in trouble.
Yeah, and they had no rebuttal. I was like, he's constantly like. The dude from Drew Hill called a stray. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Jazz was really instrumental. I love Drew Hill. He's one of the best vocalists. It's not just Cisco. Don't do that. That's really mean.
Yeah, it was great though. It was incredible to me. You know why? Because I'm not like a newcomer to Jadakiss. Like, Jadakiss has always been one of my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, way back. I remember back in high school, I didn't really believe in the Lox because they came out with Puff Daddy, Shiny Suits, and all that. Like, but then I gave their album a shot. I was like, man, all right, everyone's talking. And then I listened to it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Because the perception was Puffy, Shiny Suits.
I forget that you're older than me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you have a perception of like the Lox, Shiny Suits, and I'm like, oh, you mean from the Mariah Carey video? I was maybe 4, 5, 8.
From the Mariah Carey.
I don't remember that. Like, I remember for the Lox.
Wait,
You
say that
know,
again. You remember what?
I don't really remember the locks. Like I know Jadakiss, I know they're on the Honey remix, but it's not until I get older that I'm like, oh, they're a group.
You don't remember Money, Power, Respect? You don't remember that?
No, there wasn't really a song. So I always preface my hip hop discussions with my introduction to hip hop and my sustained interest in hip hop is always Southern hip hop. So if I hear Money, Power, Respect, it's like, yeah, but I hear Little Kim. Like, I don't care about the guys on the song. I can tell you about the 3 different versions of I Make Them Say, right?
Okay.
Like, I know Master P verses.
Yeah.
I want to play Mia X in the biopic.
Let me hold on. Back in the day when Master P came out, when I tell you I copped every No Limit release, Silk the Shocker, C Murda, all of them. Who else was on there? Even the ridiculous ones that had no business making a damn album.
No.
I copped all them plastic little joints. It felt like I was buying crack and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like the cheap CD case or whatever.
That's terrible. Okay, yeah, sure. All right.
Remember, so here's the thing. I came from California, number one. So first of all this East Coast and Southern shit, I was like, because I was like Snoop, Dre, Dog Pound, you know what I'm saying? Nate Dogg, Warren G, like that was all me. Tupac, because when he traversed and went from the East Coast to West Coast and then was on death row, you have to understand that I was born in Philly, moved to California. I felt like I was Tupac. I was like, I too came from the East Coast to the West Coast. End up now down. Like that is how I felt my life went. So I felt very connected at that moment. But I was really like I was really into West Coast stuff a lot. And then I came out here, so I was learning everything, which is why I was like, not fucking with these. But then learning, you know what I mean? Like learning the scene. That's when I really got into it. And then when Master P came out, that was like, that was my jam. That was, I can't, my sister said Brad Paisley's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. He's great.
She's talking about some country because she's like, but the funny thing is, my sister got me into hip hop back in the day, and now she's older. Like she's old, she has a garden and shit. She don't. She retired. Yeah,
that's what you do. You, as a Black woman, you age out of stuff. Like the new hip hop. Like I look at the Shade Room on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know who you are.
None of this.
I'm never listening to somebody named Young Boy Never Broke Again because you may be broke again, son. Like,
it's
why am I gonna
way too many syllables? I can't listen to all those syllables.
With that. I can't keep up with that. So yeah, no, I think for me, like I would love to see more Southern hip hop on Versus because I think that there's a conversation to be had between No Limit and Cash Money, old Cash Money.
Right, like juvenile Cash Money, like
juvenile Hot Boys Cash Money. Now, obviously, we have to wait for BG to get out of jail, which might never happen. Also, C Murder may never get out of jail, so that's a little snafu. But stuff like that, like that's what I grew up on. I don't. So when people talk about the locks and Dipset, yeah, I mean Dipset is huge in Virginia. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. Listen, when I listen to Dipset music, I'm like, Cameron doesn't spit. He ain't got bars. He's like
not
that.
A good rapper.
Listen,
not a good rapper.
Cameron came out and said, "I keep the computers putin." And they were like, Jada was like, "What? I keep the what? What?
What are you talking about? He's not a good rapper. He's just from Harlem,
but and so sounds cool.
Listen, he sounds sure." This has also always been my conversation because I don't like, they sound like my grandmother. Like they have the accent of my mother and my aunts. So this does nothing for me. Like when girls are all fawning over Dave East, I'm like, he looks like one of my uncles. Like I hate the New York accent. And my controversial hip hop opinion has always been that first of all, New York rappers are not more elite than any other rapper. They just have a New York accent. And two, that Jay-Z and Gucci Mane are the same rapper with different vocabularies. They talk about the exact same thing.
It's very similar. A lot of rap is that. Listen, this is why for my money, I love Andre 3000.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When he's like, let's talk about time traveling and shit. I'm like, yes. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about that? I need flux capacitors in my bars. You know what I mean? Like I need to traverse time and space when I'm listening to this. When I zone out, I want to hear about another thing. Okay, since we're getting in on it, why aren't niggas rapping about checkbooks and how to balance a checkbook and politics? Like, I need informational rap. Like,
well, probably because no one uses a checkbook anymore. That's probably number one.
Well,
and two, there was that one song. What was it? Fetty Wap. We gonna save that money. It was a really corny. It's Little Dicky on the song, so obviously it's like incredibly corny. Peanut, get your behind off. Sorry. Yeah. You got the mother at all times. I got to be a mama at all times.
Your head is on the swivel. You are doing right now. You're doing it amazingly right now. You're holding that baby. Baby hasn't moved. Baby knows
no, she hasn't. She's good. Because it's not fun to talk about saving money. Well, I don't want to. But if you do, right, it's like, oh, grown man, New York, Jay-Z 444 rap. A snooze fest, okay? I don't want to hear it. It's boring, okay? If I do, I want to hear Andre 3000 on Devin the Dude. Oh, what a job this is, right? Like how you work tirelessly at something and maybe somebody comes and they steal it and they don't understand like how important it is to you. Right. Or yes, I talk about Big Crit a lot because I love him. Okay. But it's a lot about emotions.
School me on Big Crit because I'm not up on Big Crit. Is he as good as Tech 9?
I mean, yeah, Tech 9's just weird. He just makes, I enjoy Tech 9, but it's just weird. I think my attraction or my draw to Big Crit's music is purely one, it's Southern and he's from Mississippi and he talks about stuff that I care about, like cars and rims. And strip clubs, but more importantly, right, it's a deeper connection to your emotional self or like how he feels about like being depressed and how he couldn't tell anybody and how like talking to his parents about stuff like that or like following the road less traveled. And he had a mixtape called It's Better This Way and he was talking about coming off of Def Jam and like how am I going to be successful after that? Like I'm being released from Def Jam. This is my dream as a rapper. What am I going to do next? And or keeping the devil off you, like not necessarily if you're a religious person or not, I am, but just how to keep your spirits up when there are devils around, when there are things around that intend to keep you down. Like, what are you going to do? Or my favorite joint of his is Bury Me in Gold, right? So it's this mythical idea that at some point when you go to meet your maker, you may have to give back your worldly possessions in order to get to the gates of heaven or like get beyond the gatekeeper. And so he's talking about like, at this point in my life, I would give it all back just to be at peace, you know, to be happy, to see my grandmother again, which is very important to me. My grandmother passed away when I was 17. So things like that. It's like, you want me to listen to Dave East talk about being a blood or cripple, whatever he is. I should listen to that. Or I could talk about it, listen to a nigga talk about Bury Me in Gold and he's singing the hook and he made the beat. I think I will pass.
Right. I got you. No, it's funny because if you had to describe like rap of the past, I feel like a lot of it was like, oh, I'm out here, I'm rich and happy, and like rap of today is like I'm rich and sad.
I'm
like,
very sad. I'm on very drugs.
Depressed. Yes,
I'm
and
doing
I can barely
all
talk.
of the drugs.
I mumble through my raps, but it's like really interesting. I don't know. There was a time there where Outkast they had me. They were talking about baby, I'm in love. like I was in love with your daughter. I'm sorry I had to break up with her. You know what I'm saying? Like I still respect your mom. Like things like that. I feel like are great songs. You know what I'm saying? Bombs over Baghdad before we fucking even thought about bombing Baghdad. Like I was just like, they already knew. Like, you know what
and
I mean?
the beat to that song is insane. Like it sounds like a chaos.
Yeah,
but it works.
And it's great. It works so well. Who do you want to see No Limit go against? You said Cash Money.
It has to be Cash Money. There's nobody else. You know, hit for hit. There's nobody else. Now, does Cash Money win? Yes, because Cash Money has
against No Limit. The whole
Cash
No
Money
Limit
has
roster.
That Cash Money has backed that ass up. Like there's nothing in this world that beats back that ass up.
I mean, make them say is very
sure. Okay, great.
Like because that started it. But I mean, back that ass up. You're right. That's the nut. Like you're not going to beat that. But
you're not going to beat that. You're also not going to beat I Need a Hot Girl. You're also not going to beat Big Timers. You know, their songs together. Also, then Baby can play his verse from What Happened to That Boy, which, you know, people talk a lot about Baby being a terrible rapper. Sure, he is. Whoever wrote that verse for him, I don't know what you were going through, baby, but keep going through it. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, the problem for me is like No Limit just has a lot of they just got a lot of fun songs. Like it just seems like you're just on the ride for something amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it felt like I was riding a tank that didn't have a governor, is going like 70 miles an hour, and we're shooting at things on the side. Like that's how I felt listening to No Limit. It's like, yeah, this is fun. It's fucking rip-roaring ride.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, there's Mystical, right? And I spent years of my childhood trying to like decode and learn every verse, right? Still working on that. Yeah. But then also you have Silk the Shocker, which is he's literally Blueface exists, but Silk the Shocker. Wow. I mean, did you just not show up? Were you just like, oh, don't even play the beat? I got it.
Hey,
don't even worry about the beat. I got it.
He always sounded like he was just like he was having like a what's it called? Like if someone is on the spectrum and they have a seizure. That's how he rapped. He's like, and I get real excited about rapping.
Okay, all right.
Calm down. Slow up, bro.
It's sun's going down, big fella. Okay, sun's going down.
Sun's getting real low.
Sun's getting real low. Okay, it's just like what is he even talking about? Like, all right, I got the hookup. Holler if you hear me. Like, it's just the most repetitive stuff, and it's the birthplace of where we get into like crunk music, which I were my teenage years. I adored. Right. And I have yet to find it, but I'm sure I will. So like there's a whole drill scene in New York with drill music. I can't stand it. It does nothing for me. But I am sure that crunk music is the grandfather of drill music. It's the beat. It's that repetitive beat on loop. And it's like a low fiber, just call and response over and over again.
Listen,
and
about it.
Yeah, like you don't get crunk music without No Limit. Not Cash Money. You do not get crunk music without Bout It with Make 'Em Say with you. Like it's the general black religiosity of call and response, right? Like we need that repetitiveness, but it's the beat behind it that also has to loop. Over and over again. Absolutely. You think I want to listen to a nigga talking about I was on the block with my Timbs when I can listen to somebody talk about they were in a tank? No.
A tank. It's like, oh shit, that's right. I do got enemies. I do need a tank.
I do need a tank. I am in 3rd grade and I need someone, obviously they need a captain, general person to take over the tank.
But listen, I forgot about it, like that with the little whine on the beat. That one was. it's like, oh man, that's right. He was the ice cream man. He's serving them.
Yes.
Oh man, Master P, special place in my heart. What I tell you, I knew the release schedule. Like every Tuesday after school, I was getting the $9.99 new release of the
balling.
Hey, listen. Listen. I worked after school, and I was making $200 a week, and I was like telling my mom, like, you can't tell me nothing, Mom. I make $200 a week. I buy my own stuff. What? And she was like, all right, you gonna get up out the house with your own stuff.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, this $200 don't go very far.
It doesn't go far
at all.
Were you a bad kid? Your mom said you were a good kid.
I was a very good kid, but the problem was we moved in the middle of high school to a whole new side of the country.
Oh.
So it's like you have, like, I had a lot of friends in California, and then I moved here, and I know it seems like I may know a lot of people here, but I had to restart in high school. And so that's, I wouldn't say I was trouble, but I was trying to find myself during that period. It was very transitional. It was upsetting. But during that period, I figured out some things about life.
Sure.
And but no, I was a pretty good kid, but it was contentious for a moment where my mom she sent recruiters to my house. She was just like, nah, you look. She sent recruiters to the crib, and a dude in a Navy outfit said, I'm here to take you to Richmond. And I was like, oh, what? I was like, but I make $200 a week. What are we going to Richmond for? All right, so here at the Blerd Dad, we usually have our blerding question, which is, what do you nerd out about? What do you nerd out about?
Oh my God, I am the biggest Golden Girls fan in the world.
Oh, word?
Of all time. There is not an episode I haven't seen. I have all the seasons on DVD. I know every word from every episode. If you threw a question at me right now, I know it. Rue McCallaghan, who plays Blanche, died on my birthday. Rose Betty White was born the year my sorority was founded, which means she'll be 100 next year in January. I call my mom Sophia. Like, I write Sophia from Dorothy in all the cards. I am the biggest.
I love fan. You know what's funny? From that era, I love Golden Girls. There's like so much TV that I love from that era, but I do remember watching Golden Girls a lot. And I used to watch the knockoff of Golden Girls, Designing Women, as well. I
won't shame you, but go on.
But I used to watch that too. I used to watch a lot of that stuff. Golden Girls. Okay, that's really shocking. All right, name all the Golden Girls. That's easy.
Their real names, or
no. Okay, I guess you could do their name and then who played them.
Okay, so Rue McCallaghan, that is Blanche Elizabeth Devereaux. Nate Hollingsworth.
Okay.
Betty White is Rose Nyland. My favorite, Dorothy Zbornak, is played by, oh my God, it's escaping me. I want to call her Maud, but that's another character she played, where Rue McCallaghan was also her best friend on that show, and then they ended up on the Golden Girls. And then Sophia Petrillo. She was actually the youngest person on the show. So she plays the mom, Dorothy's mom, but she's actually the youngest actor out of the group of them.
That's so funny. Yeah, they always had those like I don't know what the fabric was, but it looked like either like silk, maybe polyester.
Absolutely. It was probably polyester.
But the jackets, the little jackets that they had, I was like, I always thought those were mad slick. My sister said, wasn't Empty Nest a spinoff of Golden Girls?
It was a spinoff of Golden Girls. So the last episode of the third season, it's not really them in the episode. Like, they're in and out, but they're setting up for Empty Nest, which is their neighbors. And they go on this excursion, and, they have a daughter who's in college, and she goes up to New York to send the daughter back to college. It was not a great show. What's interesting is that the guy that plays on Empty Nest, the father who plays on Empty Nest, is in an earlier episode, earlier in that season, as playing a pen pal who ends up going on a date with Rose. When I tell you I am a nerd about my Golden Girls, I know my Golden Girls.
Wow. I love it. So wait, does that make Golden Girls one of the first cinematic universes?
Absolutely. Completely. Okay. Here's why. All right. So, like I said, the woman who plays Dorothy, I cannot believe I can't think of her name. Dorothy Spornak is in a show named Maude, right?
You're going to
Maude
be real angry when I tell you her name because it's easy.
I know.
It should be so easy.
Oh, it's B. Arthur. Oh my God. Yes, I am. It's ridiculous. Anyway, all right. So B. Arthur is in Maude. Maude is the cousin of, I can't think of that lady's name either, but All in the Family, who I also used to watch quite frequently, is the cousin of the mother on that show. And she gets her own show, Maude, great. And Maude's best friend is Rue.
Got a little throw up there.
I know. I can't. I know. There's nothing I can do. Her best friend is Rue, and they end up on the show. However, there's another show called Mama's Family where Betty White and Rue are also on that show together. So B. Arthur and Betty White never end up in the show together, and they actually also hate each other.
Oh, really?
Yes, in real life. Well, Betty was like, I mean, I was cool. She just didn't like me. And I was like, Betty, I don't know that that's true, boo. But all right.
Betty's got a good history. Like her history is kind of cool. She has I saw like a documentary on her. I'm like, okay, yeah. Betty was about it from back in the day when like racism was real, like real and apparent. She was like, nah, I'm gonna have this black dude like act with me on screen, and you're just gonna deal with it.
Yeah, you're gonna deal with it because he's good, and if you find somebody better, find them, but you can't, so he's gonna be on screen.
That is shocking. I would have never known that you were a super Golden Girls fan.
Man,
that came out of nowhere. This is fun because this is like one of the longest conversations that we've had. We've found out so much about each other. Like I know you probably didn't think I was this into hip hop. Like,
no, I did not know that you knew the release schedule for all the No Limit Soldier albums.
Yes, look right now, just like you were forgetting a couple of the a couple of the Golden Girls or whatever. I'm forgetting some of the the No Limit roster. But when I tell you that I had every little plastic case CD from No Limit from like 96 to like 2000. I really did, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. Mia X definitely was on there. Just all of it. Hold on, wait. Let me see who's else on this No Limit roster. To tell you,
there's definitely a group. There's like two guys.
The 504 boys.
Yes.
Oh damn! There's Cain and Abel. Oh
Cain
man,
and Abel.
Cain and Abel.
And I remember them having like awful music. That's why I was thinking of them.
Right. True story. Not very much of it was good. Like usually on them plastic CDs, there was one good song out of the whole disc. But I bought them all religiously. Who else was out there? As a matter of fact, it was funny because we used to do battle rap after school, and I was listen, I'm telling you, I mean, I went to a predominantly white school, but I was like maybe the top 3 battle rappers at the school. And we did have nice battle rappers. There was some trash, but there were some nice battle rappers there. And I was top 3 at the school. I had bars back in the day. Okay, Liz, I had bars.
Okay.
I know you don't believe me, but I got bars, yo. I have bars. I lost them somewhere along the way. I can regain them. If I start practicing, I get them back.
I think that, you should really focus on this podcast.
Listen, okay. I know, right? Look, my sister said I had a crowd. Thank you. My sister will tell you. she had a crowd. Although my sister she was a double agent because she gave some information to one of my opponents.
Yes.
And I was like, Gabby, Gabby,
yes.
how dare you?
I love it. Okay. You want to talk about something else I nerd out about? I'm a huge battle rap fan, right?
Oh, word?
Super big. Yes. And I love it when they come on stage. Well, your brother yes, absolutely.
I was like, you know why it was upset me? Because I had the crowd. I had the crowd and I wasn't losing. I was getting it. And I lost because she gave information to opposition. How dare you, Gabby? How dare you? But I think she was getting me back because like I hadn't been going to the movies with her as much. So she was like upset about it. So she's like, you know what? I'm about to leak some. I think, or either that or she inadvertently leaked some information in algebra class that she didn't realize. Like I think that, but no, when I tell you, as a matter of fact, the battle rap that we did, she said, love you though. I love you too. Mwah. The battle rap that we did, there's another guy, his name is Omega. I don't know if you know him. He's like local in the Northern Virginia scene. He does like a bunch of travels. He says he's got his accolades. I don't know, but he started doing it because of this thing that we did. And he started like putting on shows and doing a bunch of, you know what I mean? Like stuff out there in the battle rap scene. I don't know how much of it, but I was like, oh, okay, shit. And he told me, he was like, yeah, that battle that I lost to you, it like motivated me to be better. And now he's like still doing it to this day. And I was like, oh shit. Cause you know, that was just some shit that I wrote on fifth period. You know what I mean? That's how good I am. I changed motherfuckers' lives off of fifth period joint.
You did. I have also been a battle rapper.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Of course. I grew up in North Carolina a little bit. Then we moved to Connecticut. So here I am, it's like little country fat girl in Connecticut, and I know nobody but my aunt, uncle, and my cousins. And I have this thick accent that comes out when I'm angry. Now I can hide it. I can hide it.
Does it really?
Yeah. If you ever hear me and I'm like, and yeah.
Country, I'm like, oh, she's serious.
I'm very serious. So there was a boy in my middle school who was like, he just kept coming at me. And I was like, it is enough. And so I went home and I wrote bars. And I don't remember what they were, but I do remember like me saying, and you need some Listerine strips. And then I pulled out the strips. It was over. Game over. Don't ever play with me. Okay?
Oh, hey, there's no better feeling when you have when you have bars on somebody and then the crowd's like, ah,
yeah. That's it.
Oh man, yeah, that was a fun time in life. I'd like to go back to that. That was great. Wait, you got bars now? You got some bars right now?
I don't have any bars currently. I have the last time I actually wrote bars, I have it's not viral, but like 20,000, 22,000 people have seen a video I did, like a sketch comedy video for Christmas. And it was about track caroling. And so I wrote it for someone else to perform. And they didn't show up. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm rapping it today. And yeah, I still got it. You know, I don't got no bars right now. All I got are mommy bars.
Oh, do you rap to Groot?
I rap to Groot. I rap to Peanut. Nobody appreciates me in this house. Okay. I'm in here spitting bars all day about milk and nursing. I'm like, okay, Peanut, throw your hood red paws in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. She walks away. Like nobody appreciates that I'm giving my all in here. Okay.
Stephanie appreciates my bars. She wants to hear some baby bars. Because I be singing lullabies to the baby. I do rap to Morgan like a lot. Like whenever I'm doing something, I'll be rapping to him. You know, even if it's off, I still be trying to get the melody just so I want him to grow up and have that. You know what I mean? To have that a little bit. Yeah. So I rap to him to try to make sure that he has that, like he has that rhythm, that ability that rhyme scheme rhythm.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So then I do it, right? So he hears my voice, and then I reinforce it with music, like I said, that has been taken from the samples. I have a whole program to get my nigga spitting like Drake. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the next Drizzy.
Okay, is that your goals for Morgan? Is that what you want?
I just want
really?
I would like him to have that option.
Okay.
That's what I like. I don't want it to be shut off from him. I would like him to be like, you know what? I could reach back to my infancy and pull out these bars somehow.
My dad really put it in me. Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
I don't think I would want Groot to be Megan Thee Stallion, because that's basically what would happen for me. Like,
what do you
my mom was a rapper and now I'm a rapper.
What would you could you foresee that?
Well, she has the legs for it and she has the knees so far. In infancy, she has that part. I don't know. Like, if she came to me and was like, hey, I know that you put like a lot into my education and you've been reading to me, even though in utero, and like spelling words, and you've been doing all that. Great. I want to be a rapper. I would probably lose my fucking mind. I was like, you want to do what?
I'm gonna use all those language skills and I'm gonna use them to rap. I have been teaching her 4 different alphabets. Okay. English, French, Spanish, and the Greek one because I know it. Right. And you want to rap her out pussy and money? Absolutely not. Not happening. Well, but she could use. Have you ever seen that chart where rappers have like their amount of vocabulary, and like how she could be one of the biggest rappers on there? I don't know.
She better rap at Yale. She better be rapping at her dorm at Yale. That's where she could rap.
What if they made like an Olympic rap team? What if battle rap became an Olympic sport?
Then she can go. Then I'm like, okay, my daughter is an Olympic rapper. You know, listen, all I'm living for is the moment that I can just like stunt on my brother's kids, right? Like, my brother has 4 kids. My other brother has 2. If there's anything I want in life, is to continue to one up them, because I'm already one up, right? Like, I'm the best kid out of 4. You know, my dad really hit the jackpot with my mom. Like, cool. If my child is like average, it's like, you're not better than your cousins. Like, something has to give.
I got more bars than them.
What are we gonna do with that? Nothing.
What if she came out and destroyed them? Like, well, you did that.
All right. Well, great. Now we can never go back to the family reunion, but fine, you did a good job. Okay.
I'm seeing a movie like Drumline where she comes out, it's like, Mom, I want to be a battle rapper. And then she takes you to the competition that's like in the Olympics. It's like, see, this is what I want.
Absolutely not. I am not the mom in Drumline. I am the mom in Sister Act 2. I am showing up. I'm not signing any permission slips. Like, I am very angry. Are you out of your mind? I just couldn't imagine. And, you know, eventually, of course, I would support her and like sell her merch and like help ghostwrite her bars. But the point is, I just can't imagine. Like, you put so much into your kids. I get why our parents were upset now. Like, having a baby now, you're like, I couldn't imagine. Like, you're 13 and you're like, I hate it here. You hate what? You pay no bills.
Right. Yo, when I look at how much I pay for groceries and food, I'm like, if you ever complain.
I'm a big YouTube like food grocery haul watcher. It soothes me. When I watch families, they're like, well, like Jimmy likes this and then Sarah likes that. And I'm like, you're buying different food for children? You don't just cook one meal and everybody gets an option? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Nah. Every meal is not going to be a wedding where you get to pick off whether you want beef, chicken, or fish. No.
Right.
You eat the meal of the day.
And be happy. Okay. I can understand now why my mom was like incredibly frustrated, because I was also raised by a single mom, but like just being frustrated that I'm like a brat. Like, I want McDonald's. You're not getting McDonald's. I have a refrigerator full of food. You will eat that and be happy. I
How's your
can't
sleep?
imagine.
How's your sleep doing?
What? Sleep? How's your sleep, Glenn? How have you been sleeping?
Oh man, it's look. I just have learned to do things like right now I'm asleep. Like this is my eyes are low. Like right, like that's how I'm conducting this interview is while I'm sleeping. So if I say something silly, it's because I'm dreaming.
I've never met someone so actively against sleep. When you can perfectly sleep,
right.
It's like you don't have to be awake. It's not mandatory that you're up.
Listen, we have a different problem because Morgan definitely sleeps. He definitely is like he will sleep, and then he goes from dead sleep to enraged and hungry. Like he just wakes up like ah. But it's great, like he definitely sleeps. The problem that I have is he sleeps too good, so I spend all night up, like because he'll make a sound and I'm like I gotta get up and check if he's alive. Let me go check if he so basically I'm staying up because I'm worried about him sleeping or falling asleep. So I'm like I wake up and then I poke him, make sure he's still moving, and he moves, and I go lay back down, and then I lay down for like 10 minutes 15 minutes, and then he makes another sound that's weird, and then I don't hear anything, so I get up again. So it's like it's that cycle,
Yeah. She did that for the first couple of weeks. First of all, I want you to know that when you were imitating Morgan, Groot laughed. She found it very funny. By the way, she does not find me funny at all. She doesn't laugh at anything I say. She's driving me nuts. But she did that for the first couple of weeks, and now she's like, "Oh, I'm up. Where the party at? It's 3 a.m. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's 3 a.m. I would really like you to go to sleep, please."
I feel like he keeps me up, like I'll be groggy, and there's a certain point where you're groggy and you can like do a couple things, and if you went back to sleep, it would be fine. But he keeps me up right to the brink where, oh, well, now I'm up again, and then he'll be asleep, like just knocked out again. I'm just like, really? This is what we're doing. I feel bad for Stephanie though, because Stephanie, like y'all with the breastfeeding, man, I so much respect, because that is not an easy feat.
No, it's not. And then, like, I don't know if she's experienced this. There's like a couple times where you're trying to get them to latch, and they will literally make a face like it's the most disgusting thing. Like, how dare you offer me breast, ma'am? What is this? Are you poor? What is this? This is poverty food. And then you feel terrible. You're like, well, is there something wrong with it? And then you relatch them, and you're like, oh, you hate me. That's what it is. You don't care about my feelings. I think
it's even worse with Morgan, because he'll slap the titty out of his mouth, like, get this out of my mouth. Like, how dare you? Yeah. And he's like shaking, like, ah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just trying to feed you. I don't know if you knew that or not. That's where the milk comes from.
I feel so sad.
I try to gently explain to her, like, hey, this is the milk. This is the milk that I put in the bottle. This is where it comes from. She's like, this is poor people food. Where's the Grey Poupon?
Who eats like this? Bring me my chalice. Stephanie is I feel bad because when he's getting finicky, like, because it's not funny, but his mannerisms are hilarious, because he's like rah, rah. And then when he does take it, he just bites on it real hard, like, fine. And he's like, ah, and like just like better like bro, what are you doing? He does like this weird, and then he'll like slap it out, which is hilarious to me too. But he's a finicky eater, and I feel bad for her whenever she's having trouble feeding him, because there is that feeling of like rejection of like, but I'm doing like this is I'm just trying
to feed you. Okay, she nursed today, so we've been having a little bit of issues on and off. I've been able to give her breast milk, but not actually at the boob. And I finally got her on today. I could almost cry. I was like, "You're doing it. Go, Rudy. You're a champ." And then after a while, she was like, "That's enough," and then turned her nose up. I was like, "Okay,
take it away."
Yeah, I forgot. I'm nobody. I got it.
Oh man, but it's a great experience. I mean, I'm so tired, but also I feel mad fulfilled. And like I said,
Yeah.
today he started like tracking, or not today, but recently. Like I don't,
Yeah.
she's like tracking, I'm sure, right? Like
Yeah.
looking, because before it's like they can't see anything, so it's like you walk out of their vision and they're just like whatever. And now he's like he just follows me as I'm walking around the room. I'm
Yeah.
just like that's creepy, number one, but it is reassuring.
Yeah. She's starting to like know who I am. So she loves my mom. My mom goes by Nona. So she knows Nona. She knows her godmother. So like my best friend came over. Everybody else told her she was fine. But after a while, she's like, okay, there's a lady. She has bigger boobs. I know her. Where's she at? Right. And so I think she like knows my scent. She won't really let me put her down. Like it's starting to very much seem like, no, I would prefer my mom. And that makes it much more worth it. You know, all the crying and the diapers. Have you guys had a blowout yet? We had a blowout, buddy.
No, we've been very fortunate with the blowouts. I mean, there's been a lot. There's been some. There's been a it's been saturated. There's been a lot where it's just like it's like everything was contained though, but it was from front to back. Actually, no, I'm lying. Stephanie had a blowout. All the worst like poops and shits he saves for Stephanie. Like whenever I get him, it's like, what are you talking about? He's the perfect baby. He barely poops.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie's like, I just had a fucking hurricane of shit and throw up.
Yeah.
And you weren't around.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I left her in her stroller. She wasn't crying. I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat. So I like ran to the kitchen, ate. And then I started to sniff. I thought it was my dog. I was like, Peanut, I know you didn't poop in the house. Peanut was like, girl, that's not me. Go check your baby. So I went and I checked her. Like, I was like, how do you get shit up your back in the onesie? Like it stayed in the onesie, but it's on your who has an asshole out there the middle of their back? Like what is
that? It
just was everywhere. And she said nothing. That's the one thing about her. She's very strange. So if there's a drop of pee in her diaper, someone help me. God save me.
Really?
I'm running around crazy. She poops in her diaper. She's like, oh, well, you'll get to it. You'll get to it when you get to it. It's okay. No worries. Get to it when you get to it.
It's fine. But any pee is like, can't deal.
Someone is murdering me. I'm like, okay, calm down.
Morgan's really funny because, I mean, when he's like, if he's uncomfortable, then he's like, and then you change him and then he's fine for the most part. But it's funny whenever we're changing him, like you would think that he is Jackie Chan in like his next action movie. Like he's kicking, he's spinning around on the table. It's like, what is like, I'm literally trying to help you, kid. And he's just like punching. Oh my goodness. They're comparing notes or something. Because he's giving me the business every time. And it's funny, like one time I don't know what people will say, like babies can't do this, but I feel like 100% he aimed and then shat at me. He was like, he was wiggling, and then he was like, ah! like I was like, oh, Jesus.
I never expected to be peed on. I was like, oh, I'm having a girl. Right.
At
least she's identifies as a girl at this moment. Right. Oh, I'm not going to be peed on. Wonderful. Lies. Those are lies. I was like, did you just pee on me? And then looks at me blankly like, yeah, girl, you might want to clean that up. That was that was me, but you might want to get that.
If it was me, you know, I don't like pee on me, so
I don't like pee on me, so I don't know how you feel.
I don't know how you feel,
but you should probably clean it up. Have you guys been headbutted yet?
No, not quite. But like
get ready.
He does like lean over and try to spit up on me every time when I'm burping him. He's like, I'm gonna get you in the mouth one time. He hasn't yet, but he definitely aims like towards me. And again, Stephanie gets all the worst throw up. So he's projectiled with her many a times. With me, he just burps or does like a little spittle. I've seen like a projectile like once, but yeah, that's I don't know, man. It's fun. It's fun so far. I enjoy. I can't wait till we are able to get together
I
and do
know.
this and do like a show or something or travel. We gotta come. I have friends in Virginia Beach. I gotta come down there
Yeah.
and mess with y'all sometime. Mess with you sometime.
Yeah. You guys come down and we will have a meetup and hopefully they act nicely and she doesn't like bust me in the face while you guys are there.
Oh
Or
my
maybe
goodness.
you will and you guys can be my witnesses.
You know what? It's so cute because you took the picture of her and her face was like, please don't. I am not for play.
I am not interested.
I was like, oh, that is her mama's kid right there. She's like, I
she's
am
my
not
kid.
for play.
Yeah, this is me. This is what I get. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute. Well, you have a beautiful little baby. I love this moment in time that we have together, raising these kids together. I hope we're continuing to, grow our trees of life out. And my sister said, beautiful baby girl.
Thank you. And
we've
just go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say my sister's supposed to be coming out here, so she could maybe meet your baby. What were you about to say?
Yeah, you guys come down. Listen, I would recommend come down September. Like, don't come down anytime in the summer. It's just way too many people. But
right.
Yes, we at the McDougal Barlow household really love us some Morgan. We think he's really the cutest.
Oh, he does.
Those little chicken legs in the overalls. Oh my God. I know that people enjoy like little chunky babies, but when you see little tiny, like the little stick leg, those I can't deal.
And he's doing like this cute little like, hey y'all.
Yeah, he's so cute. Yes.
Hey, so that brings up another question. How much do you think about sharing on social media of your child? Because for me, I personally am like, I don't feel like I don't want to because I'm on social media a lot and I can take whatever, but I'm like, should I put my kid out there? Because he hasn't been able to make that choice of does he want to be on social media and stuff. Like, what do you think about?
It's very odd. For the first, I know people were like, you had a baby and didn't show any pictures. And I was like, yeah, man. Like, I don't know. People are weird, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are weird. And so I'm very, is where like both me, you, and Stephanie are on social media for the nature of what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like comedy and sketch and whatever. That's a decision I've made. Right. So I have to be public. I don't even like being public as a comic. Like I really would just rather tell jokes. Right. I don't know that I'm going to be able to handle somebody seeing a picture of my kid and saying something, like, oh, wow, what does she have on? Or what, saying something about her looks or like the idea of unknown eyes looking at my baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I had to get on one of my parents. I was like, Dad, you are not supposed to post those pictures. Like that's for the family group chat. Just stuff like
listen. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, don't post anything. You know what I mean? We're gonna say something, but just don't post anything. Wait. And she was like, Glenn, I would never. When I tell you, like, I didn't even make it to the car. Like, I'd walk them to their car, and before I made it back upstairs, it was already like, I just saw my grandson. Yep. I mean, obviously, they're happy, they're excited.
Yeah.
So I can't get on too much, but it was just really funny to me because it was like those, and it was like, oh, I'm not going to respect that. I'm not going to respect that order. That's what are you talking about? This is my grandson.
Have you guys had like a grandparent visits? Have your parents been by to visit?
My parents have, but grandparents not yet. We'll probably go over there. I'm thinking probably next month. As a matter of fact, we're all supposed to get together for my birthday, which is in August, like middle of this month. So probably then we'll see like aunts and grandparents and whatnot. But my parents came over, and that's where we had the thing.
Have you felt like you needed to set boundaries with parents yet? Like
just the sharing thing. That was the only one. But other than that, you know what I mean? We've been fine. So I'm sure. Look, I feel like, but here's another thing. My mom's a writer, right? She's written like, I don't know, like 27, 30 books or something.
Oh my God.
Or whatever. Yeah. And so she wrote a book called Babies Raising Babies about like her experience raising like me and my sister as a baby herself, basically, because she was like 17 or 18 or something like that when she had us or whatever.
Yeah.
Very good book. If you want more insight into my childhood and the type of child I was, you go pick up Babies Raising Babies. It was on Amazon for some time, but I don't know where it is now. But she has an idea about all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like she's literally written a book on it. And there's like very good advice. Like, you know, your child is mostly by the time they're 5 or 6, like they're raised, like they have everything instilled in them, mostly that they're going like basically the template, the foundation has been set, and to change that will be very difficult and will take a lot of corrective measures. But basically the template foundation has been set by 5 o'clock, and then you're just kind of adding things on to that foundation or whatever. That's one of the main things that she has taught me. So I'm like, you know, being really serious about this this time right now. I definitely had him watch the Boondocks with me because I want him to appropriately be able to use the word nigga. I just wanted to.
So I didn't realize we had that in common. My mom she was technically 18. I was born on the day she graduated from high school. So obviously she didn't get to walk. But my mom was also like a young mom. And she's just learned from the things that she wanted, like the things that she wanted to do, she wants me to do. But there's like definitely a generational difference. So like breastfeeding is a whole different thing for her. She's like, so you put it in the baby's mouth? You don't put it in a cup or nothing? I'm like, no, mommy.
You don't put it in a cup or nothing?
No, mommy.
All right.
Okay. All right. Like, and I still have a fairly young mom. Like my mom is 50. She turned 53 weeks ago.
Right.
So, you know, it's a lot of learning curve, but like having to rein her in sometimes, I'm like, mommy, they don't do that anymore. Like they just don't even do that in a hospital anymore. And it's all from a good-hearted place. But like when we were in the hospital, she was like, oh, they just gave me the shot and sent me home. I'm like, they're not sending me home, lady. Like I have to have a baby.
Yeah. So our situation was, in terms of the hospital and things, was bad different because Stephanie stayed at home for the birth, which was great. Like I said, I don't say everyone should do it because everyone's situation is different. But if you have the ability to do it, it is a glorious experience to be able to finish it and then be in your own bed, holding your baby, relax. It was great. It was actually really, but everything worked out very well for us. You know what I mean? Like even everything, like even the amount of labor that she was in, it was very seamless. So
how long was she in labor? 4
hours.
Oh my God. I was in labor for 18 hours.
Yeah, I know. This is what I prepared for. I prepared for 18 hours. So I was like cleaning up or whatever. I was making soup because for the, you know, the nurses and the midwives, the midwives that come over and you know, they were like, oh, wow, she's 10 centimeters. And I was like, okay, what's that mean?
What does that mean?
Like we're about to have the baby. And I was like, all right, well, let me fill up the pool. And then she was like, we're not going to have time. And I was like, what do you mean? Like,
there's no pool, baby.
Wait, again, I was like, what does that mean? She's like, that means the baby is coming. It's like, well, let me fill up the bathtub. It's like, we're not going to have time. It's like, well, what does that mean? It's like, it means the baby is going to be here very soon. I'm like,
okay. Absolutely. So about 15 and a half of those hours were pretty much unmedicated, right?
Okay.
So I'm just in labor. Most of it, I didn't feel anything. The nurses were coming in. They were like, so did you feel that contraction? I was like, I was contracting? All right, cool. So I kind of psyched myself out. I was like, this is a breeze. I don't even feel anything. Then the contractions really came. And I was like, I'm going to die right here. This is it for me, Jesus. Come on, come get me. then they were like, I was like, listen, I need an epidural. Just give it to me. I didn't care. They could have put crack in that vial. They could have put generic version heroin in there. I didn't care what they put in it. Just put it in my back, please.
Whatever.
I went to sleep. I woke up and I was like, hey, I feel different. I don't think I'm supposed to be feeling anything. And she was like, oh, it's probably just, maybe more water. Maybe the baby's moved down. She went down there to check. She was like, oh, no, you're having a baby. I felt like Mr. Crab in that meme where like everything is going haywire. I was like, right now, like I'm having a baby right now. Can I get myself together? I just woke up. Can you ever wake up from a nap? Somebody asks you to do something? That's just,
disoriented.
Yeah, like your mom wakes you up from a nap, asks you to clean your room. That's a little different than, hey, you need to wake up and give birth. Like it was a whole lot. So I woke up. 15 minutes later, she was here. I was like, okay, all right, we did that.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Are people asking you already, do you guys want more kids? Do you want
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Oh,
and I'm like, let me just make sure we can keep this one alive or whatever.
Like,
that's my biggest, like the biggest worry that I have is like, can I keep him alive? Like,
yes.
Here's the thing. I'm absent-minded sometimes and I'll leave the refrigerator open. I'll leave a cat, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you can't do that with the baby. You have to be on it. So that worries me. It was, yeah, it's funny because, so we're doing the whole at-home birth or whatever, and then Stephanie, she went from like watching TV to like a little bit of pain to maximum pain. Like there was no gradient, it was just like, but it was funny because she told me, she was like, Glenn, I think I made a mistake. And then I just tried to ignore her, like, oh, I didn't hear any of that. And then she was like, I said, I think I made a mistake. And then I was like, okay, I probably could put the CD here. Let me pour some. And then she's like, Glenn, I think I made a mistake. And I was like, all right. Like, because I thought it was one of those things where you just say it out loud and then you like let it go away. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna let her, naturally. And then so I had to get her, and I gave her the good pep talk as a good husband. I was like, listen, you're good. You're the strongest woman in the world. You can do this. And it's funny because she's like, as soon as she walked away, she's like, he's fucking lying to me.
Yeah. Oh my God. My mother was my support person, and she was like, Elizabeth, you're okay. Elizabeth. I was like, lady, because she's my mom, and like even in pain, I still have a black mama, so like I don't want to get smacked up, right? So I was like, Ma, okay, just please, Jesus. When you're in that level of pain, you're like, there's no way there's a baby coming out of my vagina, right? Like there has to be some other portal that this baby is coming out of, because you're like, I can't imagine. And then they pull the baby, and it's this tiny little thing.
Right.
You're like, how did this happen?
Oh man. Yeah. It's funny because he came out and I caught him, which is great. Like I caught him by the head. Like I just saw floor and then head and baby, and I caught him. I felt like I was back at high school football. I was just like, oh shit, game saving catch. And instantly I was just like, oh, like I have this baby in my hand and he's so small, and it's just like, wow, that was amazing. And then she's like, oh man, she's such a trooper that she did that. I was just like, woo. But I think it was because it happened so quick. I think it was better for her, because even if we wanted to go to the hospital, we wouldn't have time, because it was like, boom, he was here. But again, like his dad, he's like, la 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 la, take my time, la 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 la. All right, time to go. Just like popped out. All right. We have been talking for a super long time, but it has been amazing, incredible, fun. I think we covered a lot of things.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you, and what they can find you, what you got going on.
Sure. So you can find me at Liz Barlow 2 on Instagram, Liz Barlow 22 on Twitter. The next show I have is I'm going to be in DC. I'll be in DC Comedy Loft for Von Michael's show.
Okay.
On September 5th. And then I'll be back in DC in October for Dom's show. I can't think of it right now because I have mom brain.
The heavyweights.
But I post all the flyers and stuff like that. So follow me everywhere. And, you know, on Twitter, I talk a lot of shit. So join in.
Yeah, so there are her, so that's Liz Barlow 2 on IG, Liz Barlow 22 on the Twitters. I think the heavyweight show, that's the
Yes.
the Dom,
Yes.
yeah, that show. Which, by the way, they need to ask me to do the heavyweight show. They haven't asked me to do that show, but I don't know. You know what? I actually haven't decided to go back out yet. Like, I've been kind of chilling. One, because I'm having fun. Just, you know, like I feel like all the moments, you don't want to miss the moments with the baby.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to like leave. You know what I'm saying? So so there's that. But I think by September, October, I'll probably be like back in the swing of things. We'll probably start doing shows ourselves back in like October, November, maybe.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, this has been fun. Can you stick around for a second after I close this out?
Sure.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna close this out. All right. That was Liz Barlow, y'all. That was amazing fun. I hope y'all had just as much fun as we did. This is by far the longest episode, the funnest episode. Like I said, we are going to have a damn good time. And I think we did that. I think we gave a lot of information. We learned a lot about the Golden Girls that we didn't know. And we also did some deep cuts on No Limit, Cash Money, all that type of stuff. We went deep on hip hop. I think it was the episode that was promised, you know? It was great. So with that said, I don't think there's anything else to say because we've been saying it for an hour and a half. Blerd that out.